Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the Watchman on the wall. Your Watchman, Israel. Israel. It is our Sabbath. Grab that King James. But first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to the whole family. Happy Sabbath, Israel. Now, that being said, we're going to go right into our teaching. Israel, we got a fine teaching tonight, my sisters and brothers. A fine teaching. As a matter of fact, we're going to just hit on a few points on our midweek teaching. But I do want to say something about the things that are happening over here in this hellhole that we live in. We see, that the killings and the murders are continuing on, and as I did a video here a while back. But I don't know what it's going to take for the Christians to understand. I don't. The guy that's out there in Oklahoma, they say that he was a little pastor. But my question to all the Christians are, where was Jesus when this man was walking back to his vehicle with both of his hands up in the air? Where was Jesus? I don't see why they can't get it. If he rose with all power in heaven and in earth, why aren't he using some of this power to save y'all who is worshiping him? That's if you guys can't see that something is wrong with the picture. Look, you guys been told a damn lie. Your parents were told a lie. Their parents were told a lie, and it just goes on and on. They told our ancestors a lie once they got us over here, and then told us don't speak anymore about the true and living God. And my sisters and brothers, I don't know what it's going to take for the Christians to understand that they're serving a demigod. Your sons and daughters are dying every week. And like I stated, the Most High is killing them. Some may not want to grab hold to it, but that's up to you. If you want to continually believe that the devil is doing all this and the devil is doing all that, and Satan is doing this and Satan is doing that, and then the Most High is sitting on his throne, he's worthless. He can't stop nothing. But yet and still, our ancestors call him the mighty God. Huh? The mighty and terrible God. But yet and still, he can't stop these so-called names that y'all, saying that these entities that is doing all of this. He has to be a wimp then, but he's not. He's the one that's doing it. And sooner or later, and I'm leaning more favorably towards sooner. Y'all gonna understand. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna see who's really in charge. But anyway, let us go to our lesson. We have been getting a lot of comments and questions about the Tabernacle and the congregation and the mercy seat, and different things. And individuals have taught our ancestors. Taught our sisters and brothers these lies about we are the congregation, and that couldn't be further from the truth, my sisters and brothers. We are not the congregation. And I'm going to prove it to you. But it's just so many wrong teachings that are out there, and individuals getting angry with us because the Most High is telling us different things, But like I said, we're here for our sisters and brothers. That's all. All the other bullshit, numbers and we're not in this for that. We're in this only strictly for our sisters and brothers. Now let us look at a scripture here that we want to talk about, the congregation. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 31. Exodus chapter 31. Let's look at verses 7, 8, and 9. Now, I'm like I said, I'm gonna prove to you without a shadow of a doubt that you gonna understand exactly what this congregation thing is. Now, let us look here. Let's read verse 7. It says, "The tabernacle of the congregation." The tabernacle. Now we know that is right. of the congregation. Now, my sister and brother, it doesn't take much thinking at all. All you got to do is just think just a little bit. Now, if you're saying that Israel is, I'm saying the people, is the congregation, then that tabernacle would have to be the size of Texas in order to accommodate all the people of Israel. I mean, right there, a red flag should come and say, no, that can't be what it is. But I'm going to show you. Now, you stay with me now. Watch right here. And as I say, I always want you to read along with us, and I want you to think about what you're reading and think about and listen to what you're saying. And look what it says, and I said, the tabernacle of the congregation, and the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat. Three different entities there, objects that is there upon, and all the furniture. See that? All the furniture, where? Of the tabernacle. It's nothing but furniture. That's all it is. Nothing but a piece of furniture that is placed there. That the sons of the high priest, which is the people of the congregation, they work in the tabernacle. Now, my sister and brothers, if I know most of you guys, that have read the Bible, and you guys got some understanding. Some has a little more than others. But now you think about this right here. Think about this. Now, this here piece of furniture that is in the tabernacle. How can anyone mistaken that to be people? It's not. And look what it says. All the furniture of the tabernacle. It tells you right there that this is all the furniture of the tabernacle. Right there in the pages. But when someone, that the Most High is not speaking with, then they read it, and then they're certain, that they're reading, and they're right. And my sisters and brothers, you can see clearly here that couldn't be further from the truth. It's right here in the pages, my brothers and sisters. Now let's go a little further here. It says, in all the tables. Huh? All the table and what? Here's what? What's that word? Furniture and the pure candlesticks, which all his furniture is only talking about furniture. Right in the page, my brothers and sisters. Right there. I know most of y'all gonna get this. But those that don't want to get it, you know what I mean? They want to buck, against it, they want to buck like a wild horse, and say, well, nah, that ain't what it is. But then if that ain't what it is, then go ahead on. I mean, no one asked you to stay here in the first place. If you want to leave, leave. If you don't agree, then go ahead on. Go with those that agree and think and believe like you. But we can see clearly here in the pages, it's talking about furniture. Now let's go a little further here. It says, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offerings, with all his furniture, and the level of his feet, Right in the page, my brothers and sisters. Can't be denied. But like I said, my brothers and sisters, I know that, I know and that we're going to have some of those assholes that's going to come, and say, it says otherwise. I mean, if you disagree, listen to the Most High. Don't listen to me. He said that the secret things belong to the Lord, but those things which are revealed belong to his children. Listen to the Most High. Okay? Now, if you don't agree with this, then leave. That's all you got to do. I mean, it's right in the pages. Now, let's go here a little further. We're going to look at something else, my brothers and sisters. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 44. Now, we're going to look here at a continuation about the statute, laws, and the judgment. When a law is broken, they come out and then they enforce the law. When you see the police coming, he's what? He's the law. He's the law. So then they do what? If a law has been broken, then they put you in a holding spot. And then figure out what the statutes are on that law that you broke. Then once the statutes are there, then they bring the judgment. Now we're going to look at a couple of scriptures here and then we're going to move on. We're in Ezekiel 44. Let's look at verses 20 and 24. And as we stated, my brothers and sisters, in other videos, and it's going to be it's going to get clearer and clearer. Like we said, this book is mostly about Levi. It is. It's mostly about Levi. Then it's about the kings, the prophets, and then it goes on down and talks about the children and then the people. But most of this book is about Levi, because Levi is a special people. They are that great nation. Now let's go forward here and look what he says here now. Now, this is not all of Israel. It's not. Look what it says. It says 20 says, neither shall they shave their heads. What you talking about? The priest Levi. He say, nor suffer their locks to grow long. So they had to have a haircut, but you could tell them from everyone else. Why? Because of the beard and the hair. I mean, it's right in the page. Now look what he says. He goes on here and he says, they shall only pull their hands. All right, it goes on here, it says, neither shall any priest. See that? He's not talking about all Israel. He's talking only about the priest. He says, any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner courts. Nobody but the priest. And not only that, didn't say you couldn't drink. But you just don't drink when you come to the inner court, because if you do, then I'm gonna deal with you. That's right. See, so all these things about Israel can't do this and Israel. Listen, most of these laws were for the priests. Now let's go a little further here. It says neither shall they take for their wives a widow, nor her that is put away, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that has had a priest before. See that? And like I stated in one other video, you couldn't go cross tribe. You couldn't. A priest had to stay within the priesthood. He or she could not go outside. Why? Because then you change the bloodline. You change the bloodline. Now, let's go a little further here. Let's go on down here and let's read 23 says, and they shall teach my people, who? Levi, the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. See that? This is the job of Levi. And my sister and brother, like I did a video on Isaiah 53, that was not talking about Jesus. It was talking about Levi. Levi is the reason why we are in the situation that we're in this day. Levi. Now, some of you guys know that from growing up, way back, I'm from the country, and I'm gonna show you how we roll back in the country when I was growing up. The parents would leave, and they would leave one in charge. But now when they came back and everything was in disarray, they went to the one that was in charge, didn't they? That's right. Start there and then work your way on down. That's right. And by working your way on down, when it came down to me, well, you knew better. Even though I did leave her or him in charge, you knew better. So that didn't. I mean, you didn't get a pass because they didn't instruct you right and they didn't keep order. No, everybody got it. Now let's move a little further here. We're gonna move on here to Genesis chapter 18, and we kind of got that cleared up there. Now let's move here to Genesis 18, and my sister and brother, I want you to think about what we are saying, and I want you to pay close attention, because even though this teaching is for our sisters and brothers to know what has transpired, and know where we are even to this day, this here also is for America. See, because my ancestors, when they first brought them over here, like I say, I'm from the South, and a lot of you guys know about when they had an area that says colors, and then they had another area that says whites, and then they had signs saying white only, and the colors had to go around to the back door to get service, and the whites go in the front door and sit down. But anyway, to make a long story short, that was the way that it should have been. But my brothers and sisters, because of Master's children, they wanted the good life. And they began to march, and they began to protest, and they wanted to have a part of the good life. But the Most High, He wanted Israel to suffer. That's right. He wanted Israel to have pain, that they may cry out to their God. And my sisters and brothers, there's a song that many of you probably already know. It's called "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." And our ancestors sang that song, with all this broken English that they were trying to teach them. But if anyone would think about it, just think about what they're saying. They was talking about a spacecraft, because a chariot rose on the ground, even though it was a means of transportation. Chariot can't swing low; it's already on the ground. But many of them have passed on, died, from mistreatment, died from heat exhaustion, died from all kinds of things. Why? Because those are the things that the Most High wanted to happen to His people, because of Levi. Levi was not on his job. When it talks about Levi being whipped, yes, that's already happened. Levi got his ass whipped real good. That's why it talks about past tense. Was there? He was wounded. He was. Yes, all that's the past. But many want to bring in Jesus, and my brothers and sisters, that couldn't be further from the truth. You have been taught by Western civilization what the word is saying, and they have taught you wrong. It's not talking about Jesus. It's talking about our ancestors, the Levites priests. That's who got us messed up. Now let's go here, and I'm gonna show you guys something here that has transpired from 400 years ago, even up until now. But some things has changed, and we're gonna talk about that. Now let's look at Genesis 18:18. Let's go there. Look at Genesis 18:18. It's saying here. Well, let's go back up and look at 16, 17, 18. It says, "And the men rose up from hence and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them." This is when the Most High came and ate with Abraham. All right, we went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all nations of the earth shall be blessed in him." Now, all nations of the earth, all nations of the earth. I want you guys to think about that. See, because if you think about our plight from one place to another. England, also the Arabs over there that is wealthy, they're supposed to be the most wealthiest people in the world. If you want to take a shortcut, you look at any nation that is wealthy, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Israel was there. It's right in the pages. It's right in the pages. I'm gonna prove it to you. You can look at any nation that is full of wealth. Your ancestors and my ancestors been there. Because the Most High says, anyone, he told Abraham, anyone that bless you, I'm gonna bless you. Anyone that curse you, I'm gonna curse you. It's right in the pages. Now we see here that he promised him that. Now let's go a little further. Let's look at scripture because we need to see it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 22. Let's look at 22 here. Now watch this, my brothers and sisters. And now let's read it right here. We're going to start at verse 16. It says, and said, by myself have I swore, said the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld my son, thy only son, that in blessing I will bless thee and multiply thee. I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemy, and thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. And as I stated, my brothers and sisters, we came down through, well, our ancestors came down through the European nation over there, England. All the places that Israel went, God blessed them. Every place that Israel went, the Most High blessed that place. Even Babylon. That's right. Everywhere they went. Now let's go a little further. Let's stay in Genesis. Let's move on to Genesis chapter 26. Now let's read here now. 26, 1 through 4, it says, and there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee. Sojourn is this land in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. It's right down. Now, my brothers and sisters, and you guys that ever been in the workforce, and I know most of you guys that had, that have been in the workforce, that got any age on you at all, you know what their quota was. All we need is one. That's all. All we need is one. But see, what happened was, Master started looking out there, and Master started going out there raping our people and bringing in these mixed kids. So as time went on, they forgot about the real people. And they began to get the ones that look like similar to them, and they put them in the high places and in the jobs and into different things. They're giving them breaks, giving them contracts and this and that. And see, my brothers and sisters, this is why all the jobs have left, because God is showing them. That's not our agreement. Our agreement was that you're going to put them to work. But if you remember when they was down in Egypt, they Pharaoh told them, well, I used to bring you straw, but now go get your own straw and make your bricks. That's what he said. But here in America, the ones that, you know, are the true people, they don't want to hire them. They won't hire them. They give the jobs to the ones that they say got the good hair, the ones that they say look more like them. But the ones that are dark, oh well, no, we can't do that. And then they stress about, well, the jobs had to go here. That's right, because the Most High says, well, you know, I'm gonna curse you. And you know they'll sing God Bless America. You know, they made us sing that song when I was a kid growing up in school. But America was blessed. But now America is going downhill. Know why? Because of the Most High's children. Now let's go a little further here, and I'm gonna prove, like I say, I prove everything I say. Now we're in Genesis 26. Now let's go on down here. We did verse 4, didn't we? Let's go and read verse 5. Because that Abraham obeyed the voice of Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandment, my statutes, and my laws. Abraham did everything according to how the Most High say do it. But see, but all these countries that didn't fool with the Hebrew Israelites, they ain't got nothing coming. Look at them. Look at them. They don't have anything coming. But this country here is being cursed now because why? Of what they're doing toward God's people. It only takes one. That's all. Now let's go a little further here. Let's go to Genesis 37. Watch it right now, my brothers and sisters. Most of you guys already know the story here, but we're going to deal with that. Genesis 37, let's go with verse 5 here. It says, well, we're going to talk about Joseph here, okay? Now, we're going to jump on through it, you know, for time's sake. It says, verse 5, it says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, hear, I pray thee, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding shavings in the field. Okay, anyway, to make a long story short, he tells them the dream, right? You guys know the story. And then his brothers say, well, oh, so what you're saying is that we're going to bow down to you, right? So then they hated him even the more. Now, let's jump on down here to verse, okay, let's go down here to verse 12. It says, and his brother envied him. You know, they envied him, but his father observed and saying, and his brothers went to feed their father's flocks in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, do not thy brothers feed thy flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here I am. Okay, now we know the story, but we're going to jump on down now because for time's sake, let's jump down to verse 18. It says, and when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, behold, the dreamer cometh. Now we see here now, God is setting up this scene here. If you know the story, but you can see now what's taking place. And like I said in many other videos, the Most High uses evil and good in balance. You know, but we can't understand what he's doing because, well, some of what he's doing, because we would never be able to understand his ways of past finding out. But to see how some of his means of operation is, Western civilization have taught us all kind of bullshit. But here we see Joseph here is going to be treated like yesterday's newspaper. He ain't nothing. Throw him to the curb, he ain't nothing. But anyway, the Most High loved Joseph. Now look what he said. All of them came against him, didn't they? He said, come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. Okay, now, they have conspired saying that they're going to kill him. You see, my brothers and sisters, all the stuff here that's coming upon Joseph, one would say that the Most High doesn't love Joseph. But my brothers and sisters, that couldn't be further from the truth. I remember as a child growing up, I was told the same thing. God don't love you. Oh yeah. I mean, so many things that happened in Joseph's life happened to me. I experienced all of it firsthand. Now look what he says here. Goes on down here. Let's look at verse 23. It says, it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brothers that they stripped Joseph off of his coat. My brothers and sisters, that happened to me. It did. I had went up north, came back, wearing the fancy clothes, but they stripped me. One held me and the other one stripped me butt naked. Told me we don't wear clothes like that around here. My brothers and sisters, I was treated the same way Joseph was treated. Stripped him of all his clothes. I mean, stripped it off of him and then took him and cast him into a pit. An empty pit. My brothers and sisters, the Most High doesn't change his ways of operation. Even though all this stuff is happening to Joseph, we all know what the outcome was. But my brothers and sisters, if you can see here and look at your lives, you can see part of all these things transpiring in your life also. Now look what he says here. They stripped him and then threw him into a pit. Then they said, well, let's sell him. Let's jump on over here. Let's go down here to verse 27. It says, come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hands be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brothers were content with that. So they sold him. I'm just paraphrasing it on down here. They sold him to the Ishmaelites. And my brothers and sisters, one has to go down in Egypt. That's a part of our going to the top. One has to adventure into Egypt. Now, my brothers and sisters, you're going to see in the pages that Egypt is a place where it's not a pleasant place. And my brothers and sisters, as we stated, you know, the scripture over in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, he says, I'm going to send you back into Egypt again by ship, you know, and whatnot. And you can be sold as bondmen and bondwomen and whatnot. But Egypt is not a place of enjoyment. It's not. Not for the Most High's children. And see, my brothers and sisters, one does not have to be Hebrew to be treated, you know, like yesterday's shit. He doesn't. All he has to do is have some color in his skin. That's all. And then they will assume that you are part of the people of the Most High. That's why you're not liked because you got color in your skin. You never will be liked. They will bullshit you and pretend that they like you, but in reality, you're not liked at all. It's more or less that we're gonna put up with you. But anyway, let's go on down here in our lesson, my brothers and sisters. Now let's get on down here to verse 36. It says, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Pharaoh. Potiphar, and an officer of Pharaoh, a captain of the guard. So now we see that he is going down. He's continually going down. But my brothers and sisters, once you reach the bottom, there's no other place to go but up. And even in this hellhole, my brothers and sisters, we are at the bottom of the barrel right now. There is not too much more that can happen to us before the Most High had to send Elijah. We cannot defend ourselves. We cannot. No matter how hard we may try, we are not able to defend ourselves. We don't have anything. And if you read the book of Deuteronomy 20th chapter, like you start around about the 50th verse, and then you like around about 40, 45, and you just start going on up towards 68, you'll see some bad things in there. And if you read those things and just think about them, you'll see that, hey, this thing is transpiring right before our eyes, even to this day. My brothers and sisters, there's nothing, and I mean nothing that we can do but look to our God. They shoot you when you comply. Then they lie and do all sorts of bullshit, and then they come back and say, well, you're innocent. And here's an unarmed man. You shoot him in his back. Shoot him in his back. Broad daylight. Shoot him in his back. And then, we're going to pay you, but you take a few days off. You did a good thing, we're going to pat you on the back. You did a good thing, you killed one of those Negroes. Yeah. My brothers and sisters, you have to see that there is a much more that the Most High is going to allow them to do. They're killing us at will. Now, I don't know whether this individual was a Hebrew Israelite, but what I'm saying is the man had color in his skin. So if you got color in your skin, it's hunting season for you. I'm telling you. Now let's go here a little further here. Now let's go to Genesis 41. Now look what it says in Genesis 41. We're going to start here. It says, and it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and beheld, he stood by the river, and beheld, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kind of fatty fleshed, and they fed in the meadows. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river of favored, ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, and they and stood by the other kind upon the bank of the river. And the ill-favored and the lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 favored and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke. Now we know the story here that Pharaoh dreamed this dream, and the dream was about these cattle. Some was ill looking and some was fatty looking. So we know the story that it became that it was going to be a famine in the land. Isn't that right? Now it was a famine in the land. Now let's look here at verses. Let's look at verses. Let's look at verse 11 and 12. It says, and we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he will dream each man according to the interpretation of his dream. Now this is the butler and the baker. All right, now all y'all know the story, but what we want to pull up out of here is verse 12. And there was now he's telling the Pharaoh about Joseph. Now look what he says. He says, and there was there with us a young man, a Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard. It only takes one. See that? A Hebrew servant. Now he was down in the dungeon. He's in jail. Down in the dungeon, right? Okay, now look what he said. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret. Now, you guys know what happened. Y'all got to know what happened. Now, one of them died and the other one was restored. Now, here in verse 14, we see here Joseph. They called for Joseph, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. Now, I told you guys, when you are in someone else's land, you gotta do like they say do. Okay? Everybody know all the pharaohs had what? Clean shaven, bald head, no beard, no nothing. Joseph did the same thing. Abraham did the same thing. Was it Abraham or was it Moses? I think it was Abraham. But anyway, to make a long story short, you see here that what I'm trying to stress is that when you're in someone else's land, you have to do according to the way that they say do. Not the way that you want to do. And so many times I've told them, they have came on our page talking about the bald head and this and that, you know, and they don't have any substance, you know, to back up their claim. They're reading scripture and don't even understand it, but yet and still they're so adamant. And the sad part about it is we don't go looking for them. They come to us. But anyway, they come to us. Why? Because we're right and they're wrong. Okay, now let's go a little further here. We're going to jump on over here to verse, we're going to bypass a lot of this. Let's jump over here to verse 30. And look what 30 says. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all, the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. Now, to make a long story short, we all know what happened, right? He put Joseph over everything, and then made him right up under him, gave him a ring, and set him, you know, up on the throne, and he was right up under him, right? And through the 7 years of famine, Egypt was saved. It was. Egypt was saved. But it only takes one. Joseph did something that the Pharaoh couldn't even do, and that was save his land. But the point that I'm stressing here is that no one else, and I repeat, no one else in the whole land of Egypt could interpret the dream but a Hebrew. In all the countries that ever had a Hebrew, God blessed them. God blessed them because they carried out, God used them to carry out the suffering and the punishment that he wanted to be inflicted on his people. That's right. But now here in America, America has mingled a seed. Everybody is the same. But my brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you I beg the difference. Israel is different from all the rest of the people that is the creatures that are up on this planet. Israel is a different people. And as I stated, Levi calls us to be in the predicament that we're in this day. But Levi's going to come back and going to set everything back in order. Now, who's coming back? Elijah, the prophet, but he was also a priest. He held 2 offices. Does anybody remember when he went up on Mount Carmel, called fire down from heaven, did a sacrifice before the Lord right there. Nobody can do a sacrifice before the Most High but a priest. He was due office. Now let's go a little further. I want to bring out something here about Egypt. Let's go to Genesis 12. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go to Genesis 12 here. And I'm going to show you guys something here in Genesis 12. Egypt is a part that we all must play. Now let's look at Genesis 12. Let's read verses 9 and 10. It says, "In Abraham journey going on still toward the south, and there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went down into Egypt." See that, my sisters and brothers? The only one that didn't go down into Egypt was Caleb. But everybody else went down. But if you remember, they were born in Egypt. That's right. They were born in Egypt. So my brothers and sisters, we here in Egypt right now, this is a part of our future. We're not going to stay here. We're not going to stay. We're going to leave here. And the Most High is going to be with us forever. I mean, my brothers and sisters, you have to believe that. I mean, I know that there's a lot of them out there talking about, this one is gone and that one is gone. But listen, let me tell you something. The Most High is only coming back for his people. Now, someone else can say, that they're gone, but my brothers and sisters, the Most High is only coming back for his. And if anyone knows anything, I mean, listen, my brothers and sisters, everybody want to holler about I'm black now. All of this Black Lives Matter and this and that, you got all these different people. But now, if you look at different ones over in other countries that are white, the whites over here, they don't look at them as white. I mean, as far as compared to them, they're French. They're from France. They're from England. They're Englishmen. They're from Australia. All these people, they look just like them. I mean, if they didn't open their mouth, you can tell one from the other. But here we are, over here in America. Now those people, the whites over here, they'll tell them in a minute, you're not white, you're different. But they will respect them more than they will respect you and I. But how can one possibly, tell themselves that we're all the same? I heard this basketball player saying on CNN News today when they was talking about the rioting in South Carolina that we're all people, we're all human. No, we're not. No, we're not. And I was expecting him to speak more intelligent than he was speaking. And I mean, the language that he used, and he said he was an NBA basketball player. I mean, I wouldn't have never told anyone anything like that. We need to sit down and talk about what? What is it for you and I to discuss? The only one that are getting killed is my sisters and brothers. It's not the whites. And then they want to holler about, well, why are you protesting? Everybody was at home, mind their own business. Many of them was getting high. They was getting ready to go to the club. They was going about their everyday life until this black man gets shot and killed. That was supposedly minding his own business. You wasn't even coming for him. He was minding his own business. You was coming for somebody else. And he wound up getting killed. But yet and still you tell us, how can you make a statement about why they're rioting and they shouldn't be there? I mean, if listen, one action brings on another action. I mean, that's simple. 1 and 1 is 2. If they had not ever killed that gentleman, that young man, black man, the people in North Carolina would not be rowdy now. They wouldn't. What reason would they have to riot? But I just listen to some of the stupidest ass shit that people say. It doesn't make any sense at all. And then the other guy that was over there in Oklahoma, or wherever he was, those people over there, I don't understand it. And then they asked this asshole in North Carolina, was he going to be completely transparent? He said, well, no, I never said that. I said I was going to be transparent. But I did see the video, and it didn't show that he pointed a weapon or anything. What kind of jibber jabber is that? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. But anyway, my brothers and sisters, we see here that, the Most High is going to bring this thing to a head. He's going to bring this thing to a head, and that as blacks, we have to look to the Most High and let Jesus go. I don't know what it's going to take for these so-called black Christians, that has got all this hope in this demigod. Listen, ain't nothing is going to change until you turn and go to the Most High. Other than that, nothing's going to change. Now we got one more scripture to look at. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. It only takes one that will bring your country to a blessing. And because you won't do that, the Most High is cursing you. Now we can look at Jeremiah 18. Now watch your my brothers and sisters. Jeremiah 18, let's look at verse 15. It says, because my people has forgotten me. Who, Levi? They have burned incense to vanity. The only one that can burn incense is Levi. Not the people. Not the children. Levi. Now look what he says here. And they have caused them to stumble in their way from the ancient path, to walk in the path in a way not cast up. You see, this is where we are today. Israel needs to get back to the ancient path. That's why we are here stressing. We're here for our people. All this other bullshit, you want to believe in Jesus, go ahead. Fine. Just don't come on our page. Go and be around those that believe in Jesus. See, because Israel, we are going back to the old path. We're seeking our God. We know who our God is, and we're going to practice as much as we can while we're in Egypt. I know we can't do it all. I can't do it. But I can do whatever I can to show the Most High that we appreciate His grace and mercy. That's right. Now let's go a little further here. It says, to make their land desolate. Who? The land that Levi had. He said, and a perpetual hiss. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. I will scatter them as with the east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not my face, not the face, in the day of their calamity. The Most High said, Levi, I'm going to turn my back to you. That's right. And see, because of what the priest did, caused everything to fall up on the just general people. If you look at it from the perspective of Western civilization, if your president makes an order for war, even though you had nothing to do with war, you had nothing to do with the conversation, you had nothing to do with the decision, you had nothing to do with, you didn't have anything to do with anything. But yet and still, you got to suffer because of the one that's over you made those decisions. I mean, it worked the same way, in our ancestors' life. And as I stated earlier, this is why we're in the shape that we're in now, is because of Levi. That's right. Now, my brothers and sisters, we wish that our teaching have been a lesson that would be well remembered. We wish that it was an eye opener, and most of all, we praise the Most High for you guys allowing us to come into your homes and fellowship and communicate together as a family. We really appreciate that, my brothers and sisters. We wish you a happy Sabbath. Until next time, shalom.